Welcome back to Tekin Builds. My name is Ty Campbell. Today we are continuing with part number 4 of our Vanquish VS4-10 Origin build. So if you've been following along, we are up to this status right here. So we're getting ready to throw some paint on our body. Last week we installed our RX4. We got the T360 servo installed, centered, and set our EPAs. This week we're going to dive into some paint work on the body. We're going to go ahead and get our wheels and tires mounted up. I got 2 different sets. We're going to mount up the stock VXT tires, and then we're also going to mount up some Proline BFG KM3 mud terrains. I also got some dual stage foams from Crawler Innovations. They are the Lil Nova foams that we're going to put inside our BFG tires. We're going to paint our inner fender liners, and then we're going to go ahead and get the fender liners themselves and the bumpers mounted up. So we'll be just about ready to take this thing out for a spin. But right now, let's go ahead and get this body prepped for some paint. Now that our body's all washed up and clean, that gets rid of any of the mold release or any kind of agent that might be in there from the manufacturing process that could make your paint flake off. So you definitely don't want to put a bunch of time into it, especially when you got an expensive body like this where it's going to cost you $100 to replace it. So we got it all clean, and now we're going to crack open our bag of decals and window masks. We're going to mask this thing up and get ready to put some paint down. Cool, so we got the window masks in for all the windows and also the headlights and taillights. Now I'm going to go ahead and wipe this thing down with a rag and some rubbing alcohol just to get rid of any finger oils I might have put in there since we washed it. And then we'll start spraying. So I chose gunmetal as my body color for this truck, and then I'm going to black out the hardtop, so that's why I taped that off from the inside. Now that I got 4 or 5 coats of the silver gunmetal color on the inside of the body, I'm going to take the masking off the inside of the hardtop and back the whole thing up with black. After that, I'm going to take the window masks out, put them on the outside of the body after I remove a section of the overspray film, and then that way I can paint this thing flat black from the outside. So then if it does get scratched, it'll just scratch down to a black color instead of being the shiny gunmetal underneath. So I went ahead and backed this thing up with black all on the inside. That'll hide everything and make the paint just a little bit darker. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a very fresh, brand new X-Acto blade, and I'm going to cut the overspray film off of this hardtop so that we can spray it with some matte black on the outside. So I changed my plan of attack a little bit. I just went ahead and trimmed around the windows on the outside very lightly. I didn't want to score the Lexan any more than I had to, and just revealed everything that we're going to paint flat black. So let's spray it with some black now. Now that we've got the flat black sprayed on the exterior, we can go ahead and remove all the rest of the overspray film and see what the finished product looks like. I really like this color. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty excited to see it out in the sunlight. This is my first experience with Duratrax rattle can paint, and honestly, I'm pretty impressed. It sprayed pretty good, it dried fairly quickly, and it covered pretty well also. I used Tamiya flat black on the exterior. I think that made it look pretty good. It looks like a real hard top now. So now the body's all painted and the interior and the fender liners are drying right now, so we're going to go ahead and crack open the accessories bag and get the grille radiator headlight assembly all put together, the rear tail light buckets, and then we're going to install the PowerShift Technologies OEM light kit that I ordered up a couple days ago. So let's get into that. In here we've got our radiator and our grill. These actually bolt together on the front of the body. Looks like we've got some radiator fans. We've also got the steering wheel, all the light bucket parts, some shift assemblies, windshield wipers, and the front headlight buckets that bolt to the grill. So let's throw all this stuff on. Well, that all went together super easy. I love the way this grill is assembled because it just pinches the front of the body. It just is screwed to the radiator assembly on the back side, and then you use these 4 screws out here to attach your light buckets. So now that all that stuff's in, I'm gonna go ahead and take my PowerShift RC OEM light kit. We're gonna hook that up real quick, and then we'll tuck all the wires away, and then we'll get the inner fender liners and the bumpers put on. Now we've got our front bumper mounted. We mounted the rear bumper, and we also got the inner fender liners painted up and thrown in. These will hide everything up inside. This will give it a really nice scale appearance, so you won't see any electronics or any wiring, anything. I think now is a good time to start putting our wheels and tires together. So here's all the pieces of the wheels and tires we're going to assemble. I've got Vanquish KMC Enduros, and I also paint matched the rings to the body. We also have 475 hubs, so that should make it just a tad bit wider than stock, but not a ton. We've also got the Proline licensed BF Goodrich Mud Terrain TA KM3s. These are in the G8 rock crawling compound, so they're super sticky, really soft. These tires work really good. This kind of comes from racing, but I did this for 2 reasons. I punched holes in the tread. Now I did that with a leather punch, and I put one here and one 180 degrees opposite from that. What that does is lets the air vent out of the tire, so that when it's trying to form over an obstacle, it can actually squish a little bit, let some air out, and it'll also let any water or dirt that gets inside your wheels and tires evacuate out as you drive. These are the Crawler Innovations Little Nova foams. These are probably one of my favorite foams. I've got these on almost all of my trucks now. And these are the comp cut inner with the medium outer. This inner, this is actually a closed cell foam, so it's more stiff. It'll keep the tire from collapsing when you're side hilling or compressing too far. And then you've got this outer foam, which is an open cell, and this, again, this is the medium compound. So that allows the tire to actually squish over an obstacle, and that lets the tread flex just a little bit, but then the sidewall isn't completely collapsing. So these are really nice. And they've also got they call this a tuning ring, and you can add these or remove these depending on your specific tire, just because not all carcasses are the same height. So if the tire is like kind of ballooned up, then you'll want to peel this guy out to get the right size. So let's go ahead and throw these together now. These mounted up super easy. The Crawler Innovations foams definitely help with getting the bead and everything to seat down in there nice. Let's go ahead and throw our hubs on, and then we'll toss these on the truck. Wheels and tires are mounted, and I could not be happier with the result. This looks fantastic. I think the paint matched rings will just really add a little bit of character to the overall vehicle appearance. And these tires just scream off-road business. I can't wait to go out and get this thing dirty. The foams feel really good, soft for that first little bit, and then stiff underneath, so that should keep our tire carcass from collapsing. Overall, I'm super happy with the appearance so far. I'm getting pretty excited because the finish line is right there. I can see it. We're coming after you. Just got a couple things to finish up on this truck, mainly some scale bits, but other than that, it's pretty much ready to drive. I'm going to install my graphics kit from SOR Graphics. They whipped up something a little special that pays homage to old Scout heritage. So we're gonna put that on. I also need to wire up my power shift light kit. I did get my Traxxas receiver box. I like this one because the wires route off of the side rather than one of the ends. So it's nice and clean and hides all the wiring next to the transmission. So the interior is still in the paint booth. I got some more paint that needs to go down on that, and then we'll finish sticking that all together. Get some stickers on it, scale it up a little bit. Once we get that interior stuff all painted up and stickered, we'll be able to put the windshield wipers on, we'll be able to put the door handles on, and the door handles are cool because those actually go through the interior and help hold it in, along with a couple strips of double-sided tape down each side. So let's get to work on our interior. Well, the interior finally dried and I went ahead and stuck the included decal kit on it. Looks pretty good for a Lexan interior. I'm happy with it so far. I went ahead and put the steering wheel together and mounted that up to the dashboard, which I also paint matched the dashboard to the truck, which I thought was a nice little added touch. And then put the windshield wipers on and then stuck the interior up inside the body, used the door handle mounts as part of what holds it in, which is a pretty nice feature. Now the only thing left to do is apply our graphics kit that I got from SOR Graphics. My buddy Jay really nailed it with the graphics design on this truck. I sent him over a picture of kind of what I was looking for, and these rally stripes turned out awesome. And the good news is you can get your own if you head over to Jay's store, which is shop.sorgraphics.com. He's got rally stripe kits up there for everybody to enjoy. Well, that is a wrap on our first build. The Vanquish VS4-10 Origin is done. It is lit. It is ready for the rocks. Hopefully if we get a break in the weather. If not, we'll definitely get it out as soon as we can. We might have to take a little drive north or south to get out of the snow. But hey, ski resort town problems. I've had a ton of fun assembling this kit and going through all the steps with everybody. Thank you very much for watching. The next time I will see you, we will be out on the rocks giving this thing a run and see what it can do. Be sure to click like if you liked the video, share with your friends so they can join in on the fun, and subscribe so you don't miss future Tekin content. I'm Ty Campbell, and I'll see you out on the trails.